Alright guys, so to start off with, the shape that you are going to draw your fur over should be darker than the color of the fur itself. So as I'm not drawing the fur on any animal, I drew this shape just to show you guys how to actually draw fur. So I'm just coloring it in with a darker color, which is dark. It's going to be darker than the color of the fur itself. Now I'm gonna pick up the color for the fur. It shouldn't be white completely. It should be close to white, but it cannot be completely white. All right, so that's number one. Number two is I'm using tattoo inker as the brush, and what we're essentially doing here is we're creating this fur chunk. I wouldn't say fur kind of hair strand, but that does not make any sense. It's like it's going to be a strand for the fur, but they are thick. So make sure you increase the size of the brush. So do the exact same thing and fill out the whole shape. And if the reference you're looking at or the animal you're drawing has longer fur strands, then make them longer. But it's going to be very chunky because we are drawing fur in here. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm just gonna fill out the whole shape like that. It's really easy to draw these fur chunk, especially if you're really good at drawing, let's just say eyelashes or eyebrows. Then this is going to be really easy for you, because drawing these is kind of similar to drawing eyelashes and eyebrows, or hair strands at least for the eyebrows. So that's what I'm doing here, and you just have to do it until you actually completely fill up the whole shape. And if you want to use the color palette I'm using, just take a screenshot and pick colors from there, and just make sure that the base is darker than the color of the fur itself. Do not keep the fur completely white, or if you're drawing an animal who's black in color, then do not keep the fur color to be completely black, because that's not how it works. Just so that you keep all this in mind before you get started with your fur drawing. So that's that. Now once you're done with that, you want to pick up this brush called Hair from the brush set artist, and this is like a I would say a colorless brush. It's not a smudge brush, it's a colorless brush, but this brush is really good. What we're going to do is we are going to decrease the opacity and also adjust the size of the brush according to the size of your fur, and you have to actually blend in the direction of the fur strand, if that makes any sense. So I kind of sped the whole process up, but I hope you understood what I did there. I just blended those out. I just went over those fur strands and just blended those out. And in the next step, I just created this new layer, and what I did is I picked up tattoo inker as the brush and decreased the size of the brush and added really light grayish kind of fur strands in between all those white or cream colored hair strands. And then I went ahead with this brush, colorless brush called Hair, and I blended it out again. I hope this is making sense, and I hope it's not really fast paced. The next thing I did is I created another layer, and here I added some white color over the fur chunks, and then I went ahead with colorless brush to blend those out again, just to add a little bit of lighter color there. Now once I was happy, I created another layer right at the bottom of every other layer that we have, and I picked up tattoo inker as my brush. I picked up the color that I used to create fur chunks, and I am adding these little again fur strand or fur chunk or whatever you want to call it around the edges of the whole shape, so that it does not look lifeless and it should look natural. So some fur strands should fly around the edges. To highlight, I picked up airbrush and I picked up white color, changed the layer mode to add, and then I started adding these little white dots. Now this time around you can use white color when you're adding highlights, especially if the fur color is really light. Make sure you're using white color to highlight it, and then going back with the colorless brush to blend those out. And that's how you actually create fur really quickly. It was really easy, you know, very easy. Just a few really simple steps and you're good to go. And I really hope this video was not fast taste. The reason why I kept it this way was because it's an easy tutorial and the steps are really easy, and you don't really require a long tutorial on this topic. Once you really understand what I'm doing in each step, you are just good to go. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you want me to make a longer tutorial on fur, then do let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to do so. Other than that, I will see you guys in my next video.